Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we are on our way to a much more difficult location. This planet that we're going to is 7.5 skull compared to the current 5 skull. So that should be interesting. Of course, we have some repairs to work on the way, and we will go ahead and get those underway right now. We'll tick forward for a bit here. Okay, and Boot Camp wants to improve a mech stability. We'll watch what happens. Okay, so Chronic Toast is in low spirits and Boot Camp is in high spirits. It's a wash. That's completely fine. We're going to continue to proceed here, but our mech warriors are all ready and good to go. I believe none of them are getting any benefits from training pods anymore, so let's just go ahead and give Chronic Toast a full point of gunnery, so that goes up to 10. Very nice. Muffin Top is not quite maxed out yet, but she's getting close.
Yep.
Poet can grab a point of piloting, I think will be fine.
Training confirmed, Commander.
There we go.
What's up, boss?
And then Rain is actually maxed out now. Beautiful. So we've got a lot of mech warriors that are getting maxed out here.
I'm ready.
And Taboo's not ready to go. Okay, sounds good. So we'll continue to tick forward. We will arrive at Alula Australis in 20 days. The Annihilator will be finished the day after that. So that is wonderful. And our financial report will be hitting the day before that. So we are going to be hitting the financial report here. We're going to be a little bit low on cash. So we're going to just kind of probe out the difficulty there and maybe take something on the slightly lower side. We don't want to dive directly into like 10 skull missions. I don't think. We'll just work our way up. But we'll see what's available there. The financial report is hitting now, which is actually 3 days before we arrive. Okay, cool. We're just going to leave it on normal for the time being, and we've got plenty of resources in the hold that we can sell or scrap if we need to. So we're not going to be having any issues financially for a while anyway. But there we go. We are arriving at Alula Australis. I guess we could visit the store and see what's available there. Probably nothing that we want to buy. Store is usually pretty garbage. Yeah. Nothing too great here. Okay, cool. So we're going to tick forward. Looks like actually 2 days for the Orion to finish up. That's fine.
That work order you submitted
there we go.
is complete.
Exploring moons, huh? They can't get enough data on the moon. Sure, we'll send Sumeri and the Leopard. Oh, okay. So we got the full scan. So we paid 50k, but we also got 50k, so it was a complete wash, I think. Or maybe we made 50k. Either way, it doesn't really matter that much. Let's double check our mech bay, make sure everybody's good to go. The Mauler isn't. That's right. It did take a crit on its heavy Gauss rifle, so the Mauler actually requires a repair on that. And that's something that Yang doesn't do. Okay, so we're just going to repair that, and that's going to be 2 days. We could leave the Mauler at home and take the Annihilator in that slot, but I think I'd rather leave the Awesome at home if I had to choose. So we're just going to tick forward the 2 days. I should have checked this before ticking forward those last couple of days. That is 100% on me. We'll just get that done. And I want to double check once again that everything else is good to go and that I didn't miss anything. I don't think I did. But we'll see.
Welcome to the grease pit, Commander.
Okay, all good. So we're going to hop into the command center and see just how rough this is looking. What do we got? Spooky. I like it. Okay, so we're going to aim for something that's, like I said, a little on the lower side here. We want to build up our cash, and I want to feel out the difficulty. The lower side is still, like, harder than anything on Carver. So, that's definitely nice. 2.9 million C-bills for this one. And that's an attack and defend. So, I'm thinking we're going to run this battle. It is apparently one mech that we're going to be fighting. I highly doubt that. So this is not a free priority salvage. We could run it straight down the middle, and that would nearly pay for our entire month tick to get here. Maybe there's some bonuses. I mean, we'll have costs, for sure. So it's not going to pay for the whole thing. But I think running it right here would be fine. Okay, now I want to drop the Awesome And that's Poet that's currently in the Awesome. What do you have for affinities right now, Poet? Awesome Linesman Battlemaster? Okay, that's not great. But we're going to get the Annihilator in here, and we're still going to have the Poet, apparently. We're still going to have the Poet in here. Wonderful. We are bumping that up by 20 tons, and this is a pretty hefty improvement, but it doesn't really improve our Lance rating. Darius is still going to be a moron, and is still going to yell at us about this, but let's do it. Yeah, go away, Darius. I want to see if this is actually difficult, and we're just going to kind of work our way up the skull difficulty here and see how this is. This is a 7 skull mission. We'll see how this feels. I think previously we've done a 7.5 skull. I think that's the highest that we've done. But I just want to see how this goes, and we'll just work our way up. Next mission, maybe we'll angle for like 7.5 skull, and then 8, 8.5, 9, somewhere in there. We'll just make our way up, and eventually we'll be looking for 10 skull missions, but I'm not comfortable doing those just yet because I feel like we need to shake out a few additional problems from our mechs. We definitely have some underperformers, and I'd also like starting to get those armor types that have damage reductions on them. That would be awfully good for us. So that way we would functionally always be in cover. That would be amazing. And it would stack with the cover, so we'd have like a 40% reduction in cover. Yeah, that would just be amazing. We'd have to rework most of our mechs because we are pretty reliant on the ferrofibrous armor on a lot of them. But, I mean, that's only like a 5-ton difference. I'm sure we can make it work. But we need more of those before we can actually have that happen. Of course, those are more efficient on the heavier mechs, but I'd have to look at the way that it calculates how the weight is done. Because the weight should be higher on heavier mechs as well to compensate for that. But for now, we'll just do this, and I'm very interested in seeing how this plays out. Basically, I want to test to failure here. I want to keep increasing the difficulty, ratcheting it up, and finding where our lance breaks. That's going to be the best way to do this. Now, the Awesome is obviously a weak link, and that's why we replaced that with the Annihilator. We have other weak links too. That's just a fact. The Corsair is probably one of them. But we can find out. For now, we need to destroy enemy units. Our people took a beating in a recent engagement, Commander, and we lost an entire lance. One of our pilots was killed when their mech fell over, and the last of the Davian survivors was able to get our mech back on its feet. Now they're hoping to get it safely to their dropship and claim it for their own. We need you to stop their salvage attempt and bring that mech down. It's still an active battlefield down there, so no telling what you'll encounter. We've handled situations like this before, Commander, but I'd still advise caution. If they need a whole merc unit to take out one mech, it must be a pretty serious mech. Indeed.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Excellent. So loading has completed. I'm just giving it a little extra time here. It looks like our frame rate is stable, so let's proceed.
Command interface
This
initiated.
is not a Tundra. I should have checked to see what we were in. Maybe I even said, but I didn't even notice. Like, I don't know what biome this is. Whatever. We're looking for a single mech possibly already damaged. It's out in this area, and evac point will be back here. Cool. We have no allies. We could drop, like, over this way. On this hill here. Crest the hill and fire on him from up here. It's a potential possibility. There are no enemies back over here. In fact, it looks like there are no enemies other than up over here. I mean, if that's the case, then that's underwhelming. But you have to remember that RogueTech has extremely variable definitions of difficulty, right? It really depends strongly on just how the mission generates. Okay, so we enter combat immediately, and we see nothing. No enemies. Okay.
What's up, boss?
Our Madcap Mark II is going to start climbing the hill.
On it.
And that allows us to see this Marauder over here. A Marauder isn't that scary.
Yes, Commander.
Our Mauler will climb the hill as well. We'll crest the hill with the Mauler next round.
What do you need?
The Corsair is just going to make its way up over here.
Copy that.
Is it literally just the Mauler?
I await your command.
The Orion is going to move up. It's running a heavy Gauss rifle, plasma cannon, dual plasma cannons, and light tag. Okay, well, let's go ahead and Warlord. Oh, they used the same icon for erratic maneuvering. That's awkward. Okay. Let's go ahead and Warlord.
Target acquired.
Do some armor damage to him.
What are your orders, Skipper?
The Salamander is going to sprint up the hill a bit. Well, kind of along the hill there, more than up the hill.
Ready
The
for
Bull
orders.
Shark is going to step up over here and, of course, work on that Marauder. Let's go ahead and Warlord.
Feel my wrath.
A solid hit there with the Long Tom. Some good crits there.
Oh, I like that shot.
Cool.
Aye, aye.
The Annihilator is actually incapable of movement. It dropped into a place where it's kind of a little bit stuck. Luckily, we do have access to careful maneuvers, and so we shall. We actually get an LOS here by careful maneuvering up. Amazing. We're going to fire on this Marauder, and if we hit with those HGRs, that's going to do a lot.
Firing all weapons.
Okay, we only hit with one, but even so, the Boar's Head can actually get into LOS as well.
Advancing, I guess.
And we'll do exactly that. We'll Warlord this. Do we want to direct fire this? If we miss, we're not going to do any damage, but it does increase our odds. Let's try it. We missed with the Sniper Artillery, but not with the Arrow 4.
That looked like a critical hit.
Okay.
Good to go.
The Mauler now moves up, and this is technically rear arc. 93% hit odds. This guy's super dead. Like, super duper dead.
Rear armor renewed.
The last primary target is down, Commander.
Indeed.
One left target.
Okay. So we're packing up. Are we going to exit combat?
I live to serve.
There must be mechs that we don't know about, right?
How's it going?
But, I mean, we're going to head for evac, and if we see enemy mechs, we'll kill them. If we don't, we're just going to head to evac, and if it's just the one mech, I'm going to call this a variability mission and be like, we don't really know how that went, but we'll probably consider going to like a 7.5 or 8 skull. I mean, I don't think that this is representative of the difficulty on this world, to be clear,
Ready to rock.
but
let's
yeah, that was very simple. No doubt about it.
Standing by.
We literally took no damage.
Affirmative.
We fired a couple rounds. Like, it's fine.
Going as
So we're going to move down here. Ah, there we go. That's their LZ. Sounds good. We're going to position for that. This is more like it. So they just weren't expecting us to
Moving to
take out the
position.
mech that quickly, I guess. But we're going to position
Roger.
for this
You got it. I'm watching.
as best we can anyway. Okay, Elysium markings. Sure. Okay, so they're down over here. We're entering combat. We're going to reserve here, allow them to move to update the sensors. They must be fairly big,
Holding for
or
tactical
vehicles.
advantage.
That's a Thanatos, Boar's Head, Orion, Marauder 2. Okay, so now we've taken some damage. So this isn't super scary. It's fine.
Yes, Commander.
We're going to move the Annihilator up to here.
Move order confirmed.
And this Thanatos is in some serious danger, actually. We're going to Warlord to boost those odds. We did miss one of those heavy Gauss, but even so, that was a lot of damage to that Thanatos. The Mauler is going to sprint up. I do not expect an LOS, and we do not get one.
Understood. Moving fast.
Okay.
Yep.
Next up, the Corsair is also going to sprint up. It does sneak an LOS in.
Full speed.
I like it. These hit odds aren't the best, but we'll Warlord to boost them and see what we get here. We are going to get a slight overheat due to the fire that we walked through.
Aye, aye. Engaging
Oh, mortar ammo explosion, and that Thanatos is out of here.
target destroyed.
Cool.
You
Our Salamander is going to sprint up. We don't expect
Alright,
any
roll,
LOS
please.
here.
No target. I'm here.
Our Orion is going to make its way up over here. I want to check hit odds here. And also, is this rear arc on this boar's head? Yes, indeed it is. It's also rear arc on the Orion, 17.9% versus 20.3. Okay, so we're going to go for the boar's head here. It's not going to get a kill, obviously. But we'll soften up his rear arc armor.
Hey.
And now the boar's head, our boar's head, is...
Okay, let's go.
I tried to cancel that, but I was too late. And the reason I tried to cancel that is because this is now side arc. I wanted to move here, which was still rear arc. My own fault. Got a little impetuous there, but we're okay. We're just going to drop artillery on that boar's head.
Firing everything.
Okay. Decent amount of armor reduction there, and we'll see what they do. Their Orion turns around and attacks our Annihilator, which is in cover, and will be absolutely fine.
I'm taking heavy hits, Commander.
Their Orion can't stand up to our Annihilator.
Commander.
The Bull Shark is going to position over here, which is still in rear arc of the boar's head.
Target lock on enemy 6.
And that's actually a rear arc structure exposure. And the boar's head is straight up dead due to a lucky crit from an LRM.
Who can stand before me?
That was a very lucky crit from an LRM, to be clear. The Marauder 2 moves up, goes for our Orion. Our Orion also kind of can't stand up to the Marauder 2. It took out a double heat sink there. That's unfortunate. It almost took out that torso. Okay.
Yes, Commander.
So our Madcap Mark II is going to sprint up over here.
Copy that.
And we're going to fire on their Marauder. And we're going to Warlord it. Are we better off with Apollo ammo here? No, we are not. So improved ammo it is. They are, however, out of rockets on that Marauder 2. So it basically blew its whole load there.
Target acquired.
And it can't do that again. But we can back off our Orion. That's not a big deal.
Commander.
The Mauler is going to sprint up over here, where we do get an LOS on this Orion. And that's decent hit odds there. We'll Warlord to boost them up even higher. We did miss one of those heavy gauss, but that's an engine crit on that Orion.
Reporting critical hit.
And he's unsteady. Perfect. Now the Orion is going to move. I'm going to position it back here. Like so. I'm also going to Vigilance it. And we're going to fire on this Marauder, although I think instead of Listen Kill, I may use standard ammo here. We are better off with Listen Kill.
Everything I've got.
Okay. Getting some solid damage into that Marauder too.
I'm out of LRMs.
Okay. Next.
Hey,
Our Madcap Mark II is going to step up here.
I copy.
We're going to continue to hit this Marauder 2. This could easily result in a kill here.
Here you go.
That's some solid crits, and it'll be a knockdown, but it's not going to be a kill. But that Marauder 2 is not going to live to shoot at us again.
Heat damage.
Excellent.
Damn it.
The Bull Shark is going to move kind of nowhere, but also kind of over
Onward.
here. And I think we're going to go for the Marauder 2 here. Hit odds are just far better on it.
Engaging.
And we did actually get splash damage there. That's nice. More Rocket 20s and heat sinks. And actually, the Marauder 2 ejects.
I'm
Cool.
here. Moving.
So the Boar's Head is going to move up, strip additional armor off of that Orion, which it doesn't have much to give up, in all honesty. Although those artillery shots were not great. And that may be a knockdown on the Orion.
Maybe things are looking up.
Indeed it is. Cool.
Yeah?
So our Corsair is going to simply move in
Copy
like
that.
this, and we're going to fire on that Orion. Heat-wise, we will fire the ER medium laser clan, but we're not going to fire the Magna. And there we go. Yeah, I don't think that's super representative, but also we've kind of been doing 7 skull missions a little bit. I do think we need to ratchet up the difficulty a little bit, but on this planet, we definitely can. So that is phenomenal. We're very, very happy that we are in a location where we can go up to like 8, 9 skull if we need to. We'll see where our limit is feeling like, but that wasn't feeling like it. Like, yeah, they destroyed a double heatsink on the Orion, and they almost took out that torso, but that was gimmicky, right? It was because of the rockets. That was a one-shot thing, and they failed to destroy us. They maybe could have destroyed us. But the Orion is also one of those mechs that I'd like to phase out. We just don't have a solid replacement for it. It's only a heavy, after all. So that's definitely something to think about. Overall, I'm quite pleased with how that went. We could take another heavy Gauss rifle. We only have 1 in stock right now, and that might not be a terrible idea. Just checking through the rest of this list. Yeah, I think the heavy Gauss is the one to go. Oh, right, we can get 2. Do we have additional ammo for heavy Gauss? We do have 2 tons of ammo for heavy Gauss. Maybe an Engine Core 300 just for the cash, or an Armored Cowl++. I think we're going to go for the cash. We do need cash. So we'll take the Engine Core 300. We got the Advanced AMS there. We do have a couple of those in stock. I'm actually going to sell that. 5 Rocket 20s. We have 16 of them. Get out of there. Engine Core, get out of here. Artemis 4, we've got one, but I'm going to keep it around. Those are handy to have around. Heavy Gauss ammo, we'll keep that as well. We did get that. And the half ton of LRM ammo, we can get rid of that too. We got a Thanatos and a Marauder 2-part. Not too shabby, all things considered. I definitely want to think about a replacement for the Orion, and I do like the niche that the Orion is filling right now. I maybe want to go all in on the niche because we're kind of not. We have the dual LRM 20s, and then we've got the Gauss rifle, and maybe we should go for something like quad LRM 20s and a longbow or something. That might be a little bit better. I'd have to look at hardpoints and weights. We might need clan LRM 20s. It would take a little bit of experimentation, but I do want to replace the Orion. That mech is on the chopping block and has been for a while because it is a lighter mech. But yeah, 130k, go ahead and do that. And we're also going to need to replace that double heatsink. So let's go ahead and tick forward a little bit here, but we're not, I think, going to wait for the Orion. So let's tick forward just those couple of days. 2 more for the Annihilator. Okay. There we go. So Taboo is injured for another 2 days, but I don't think we're going to wait for him either. Let's hop into the barracks here and do any mech warrior training that might be available post-mission.
Orders?
Nothing for Chronic Toast.
Hey.
Muffin Top is getting there, but not quite there yet.
Commander?
Okay, and okay, that's nothing. Sounds good. So it is about time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we're going to push it up a little bit, maybe go for an 8 skull. Let's see how that goes. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.